Good evening. I'd like to talk to you tonight about a spooky little game called The Inpatient for PlayStation VR.
Alright, so we finally have the opportunity to talk about The Inpatient. Now, this is a game that everybody's been looking forward to for a while. Of course, it's by the people who made Until Dawn Rush of Blood, one of the best launch titles out there. And also the original Until Dawn, just PS4 game was great. So I had high expectations going into this. And right off the bat, I gotta say, it didn't live up to my expectations really at all. So I'll kind of get into the reasons why here, but I got a list of pros and cons, and the cons is way longer than I would like it to be. Let me grab that list real quick. So I don't want to be too harsh, and I'm not going to start with all the cons, okay? I'm going to start with some of the pros. Now, the sound design in this game is incredible. It's creepy. You hear stuff crawling around behind you. You don't know where shit's going on in this asylum. It's very spooky, and you got to wear headphones for sure. The voice recognition thing, which they really touted as like a technological advance for this thing, you can speak into the headset microphone, and it'll pick up what you say. It works most of the time. I mean, it picks up what you're saying. It's a pretty good voice recognition system, so there is that. And the graphics, for the most part, are really, really good. Everything is very dark, but what you can see when you shine your flashlight on it looks pretty good, and the facial expressions are pretty well done. And it's very atmospheric. They really nailed, in some scenes, like the kind of surreal, I won't give away too much, but there's kind of like dreamlike scenes. You don't know what's going on exactly, or if you're going crazy. And those are really well done, very moody, very atmospheric, so I loved that. Unfortunately, they don't really amount to much of like an exciting overall package, because you've got, in the beginning, a couple interesting bits, but then it gets really slow, and you're just answering questions and listening to people talk. They throw a few jump scares at you, but they're really just kind of out of nowhere and seemingly unconnected to anything else. It's really slow to progress at the beginning. That's one thing that I had an issue with. The other thing is they talk a lot about the butterfly effect, right? So the decisions you make have an impact on the overall game, and you're going to get a different outcome or whatever based on what you pick. Now, in the original Until Dawn, which this is a prequel to, that was a big deal. That really mattered. That changed things a lot, and you cared about the outcomes of the decisions. You felt regret if you messed up, you know what I mean? In this one, you barely know they're happening half the time. When they do happen, afterwards you don't really care that much. There's not that much of a reason to get you to go back and play it again, because the story doesn't put hooks in you for these characters. Like, you let somebody die, and then I'll go back and look and be like, oh wait, that person died? I forgot that I even let them die. I don't care. I'm not going to play again just to see if that person lives. It was some nurse I talked to like 3 times, and she wasn't a character, you know what I mean? In Until Dawn, they really build the characters very well, and that's why you care about the decisions you make. In this one, you have no emotional attachment to anybody, so there's no really good hook to make you feel anything about the choices you're making. And that's a big miss, because that could have been a lot better. And it could have added to the replay value, but I'll say as it is, you probably just want to play it once, maybe twice, but you're not going to run down every little rabbit hole to get every outcome, because you're not going to care. If you're like me, you're not going to care that much. So like I said, they throw in jump scares, but there's really long stretches between them where like nothing's happening, especially in the last third of the game. The whole game's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, which we'll get to later, because price-wise, that I kind of have an issue with. But there's really long stretches between the scary stuff, and you're just left with this sort of eventually tedious like atmosphere, but nothing's happening, and you're like, okay, well, it's kind of spooky, but where are we going with this thing? You know, what's happening? And eventually stuff starts happening, but the end is kind of a slog. It's not that great. I don't want to spoil too much. Especially towards the end, too, there's also a lot of loading screens. Like, there's one elevator scene where I swear to God, it was just going up and down floors after like 20 seconds on each floor. And there was a loading screen each time, and it fucking loaded like 7 times in this one scene, this one area. And I was just like, oh my God, are you kidding me with this? It was too much. One of the huge things that I should have got to even earlier is the move controls are just abysmal. Like, we've seen really good move support implemented, and this is just not it at all. So you have to turn by pointing the right move controller left or right, and then clicking the button, and then your left controller just goes straight. It doesn't matter where your head's pointed or anything. It's really fucking weird. and takes a lot to get used to. Also, the hands and the animations for picking up stuff are just terrible. Like, they try to render your whole arms in VR, and it really, really fails. It's not well done. And you feel like you're just, like, wobbling around all over the place. You can't grab anything effectively either, which was kind of a big issue for me, because, like, kind of breaks the immersion if you go to pick up a thing off a table, and you have to sit there for 20 seconds trying to figure out how to do it. It's not very good. The other thing I said before is it's very dark in the game. So especially like watching somebody play too, like if you're not in the headset, it's really hard to see what's going on. Unless you have your flashlight directly on something later in the game when you get a flashlight. It's super, super pitch black. So that could be a little better. But I guess for atmosphere, maybe that's fine. The other thing is it's really just kind of short. You know, it's like 2.5 hours for one playthrough. If you went back and got everything, I think you'd get 5 hours out of it, maybe. And, you know, if that sounds good to you for $40, then that's great. But what's there isn't that well implemented. So it's kind of like, even if you can wring some more out of it, are you going to want to go back and play it that much? That's my main thing. So I was really looking forward to this one, and I'm kind of disappointed to have to say that I wouldn't really give it a great score. If I had to do like a numerical score, I'd probably land on like a 6.5 maybe. And I don't know. I just, for the money, it's not worth it. So you're definitely going to wait for a sale on this one, for sure. Like, half off at least. For $20, I would feel a little bit different about this one. But as it stands, it's not that compelling. It doesn't really draw you in. And even though there is some replay value, I didn't feel motivated to replay it very much. So that's my 2 cents. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I appreciate you. Did you play this game? What did you think? Leave me some comments below. I always like that. And if you liked this video, hit the like or subscribe, because I always appreciate that sort of thing. You guys are great. Have a good rest of your evening.